Okay, again, this is Art Napolitano. I want to welcome you to this training class. My goal today is to introduce people that are working with me around the world to this new opportunity in the United States with Impact Health Sharing. I won't be doing a full presentation on impact. I'm going to assume that you've seen some of my presentations, but I will give you enough background information so you'll know what the service is. More importantly, I want to talk to you how to take advantage of the opportunity in America. How can you network into the United States? Anybody that knows my history with ACN of 23 years knows I live in the United States, the East Coast, Northeast, near Boston, and yet I've built from a small town. I built the largest organization globally in ACN. We have support systems all over the world. Yes, I've traveled extensively. In fact, I'm getting ready to leave for a 17-day tour of Europe where I do multiple events in Italy, the United Kingdom, France, and Spain. So I'm back on the road. This pandemic's been a crazy period. Thankfully, we have this technology in Zoom, and we have a service model that gives us the best chance for residual income. But ACN's co-founders have been doing a lot of work during this so-called COVID vacation, this pandemic. They've really revamped the United States business model and have added several new things. And I got so excited about it when I was in Oklahoma City a couple of months ago at what they call a corporate emerge event, the first live event I've been in 2 years from the company. And I spent over an hour speaking directly one-on-one with the CEO of Impact Health Sharing. And it just opened my mind to something that I knew very little about before I got to Oklahoma City. But in the 2 months since, I've dug into this, and I can honestly say in 30 years of direct selling, taking me all over the world, I believe it's the most powerful single opportunity I've ever seen. And so it's great that if you want to focus in the UK or Italy or Spain or Sweden or Denmark or Mexico, fine. You know, there's an opportunity everywhere. But I've networked anywhere in the world where I saw opportunity. And I'm going to teach you how you can use me to help you build a team in the United States. I'm also going to introduce you tonight to my upline, who's a senior vice president, who's one of the pioneers of ACN from the very beginning days of ACN. He was an upline even to Larry Raskin. He's a senior vice president, Orrin Solomon. He agreed to come on and talk to you about his support system, introduce you to some of the tools he's doing. So any of you that want to network into America, there's going to be a ton of information available to you tonight. I'm going to dig into some of the back office on the U.S. side for Compass in case you haven't been doing your homework. I want to tell you where you're going to find information, how you're going to find the tools, how you can use the tools, how you can become accredited to be able to offer the service. We're going to talk about all those things, but I'm really going to dig deeper into the compensation plan than a normal overview. That's why this is for IBOs. If you're working mostly in Europe, where most of my team is, and you're building here, there are some differences, not only in the service we offer, but in the compensation plan. And there's some incredible, benefits to our plan here in the United States, but I would also offer those in Europe. And I will tell you, there are no position advancement bonuses, because in Europe, if you promote to different positions, whether it's ETL all the way to regional director in 6 months, you can earn a £7,000 promotion bonus one time, or a €7,000 bonus for hitting that position within 6 months. That just does not exist here. So I am going to go a little deeper into some of these topics. I'm going to show some different groups of slides. I'm going to give you a lot more than what you normally get out of an online training. But for those that are newest to what we're doing with Impact, I got to at least start with the Impact presentation, not the whole presentation, not the videos, but I just want to make sure you understand. I'm going to have to stop that for a second. I'm going to hit share screen, and I'm going to share sound, and I got several PowerPoints open, but I'm going to start with this one. Okay. Again, Impact is unique to the United States. And that's the first thing you need to know. For those outside of the U.S. that might be familiar with social medicine, We do not have social medicine. Now, if someone gets in a car accident, they have a major health problem, they go to the hospital, of course, they're obligated to treat you. But if you want the right health care, you want good health care, you need to have insurance. In fact, legally, you're supposed to carry some level of insurance, and the government, state by state, offers different low-cost opportunities for people. But I recently looked up online how many Americans are uninsured, completely have no health insurance, and it was about 30 million Americans. And I think that number is growing monthly, because the cost of everything has gone crazy in the last several months. Of course, the war, has made a big difference here just like in Europe, the price of energy, travel, oil. Our gas prices have gone up roughly 50, 50%. Airline tickets have gone crazy. Housing is very difficult. The rents are through the roof. Literally, buying a home, young people trying to find homes are having really difficulties financing or even finding a property. So income and issues with income is a big deal. So it's a good time to provide an opportunity. That's the first thing. The second thing, health insurance in America and health care costs have become so expensive that people are choosing not to go with insurance, and yet they really need it. In fact, 80% of American consumers in a recent survey said that lowering their health care costs is their number one concern. And this is where Impact really provides a role. We deliver a modern and affordable alternative to health insurance. This is not health insurance. Although it tastes like it, looks like it, feels like it, acts like it, in many ways, it is still not health insurance. It is really a nonprofit corporation. It is not ACN. Impact Health Sharing is a company founded by Phil Chrysler, who's the CEO. And how we came into the relationship with this is ACN Corporate, led by Robert Stevanovsky as our chairman, acquired a company called Team National. And Angela Chrysler was the CEO of that company. And one of the services they offered was her husband's company, Impact Health Sharing. They had a lot of different services that they were selling. They were doing a benefits package and they were selling it for like $2,000+ for the package, to give people access to all these shopping discounts, to give them access to lower costs and cash back opportunities for going to brand name stores, both online and in person. So ACN acquired that company, which had been struggling during the pandemic, like a lot of companies, and Robert saw an opportunity to acquire that company, bring Angela in, who is now, I think her title for ACN Corporate is Chief Business Development Officer, so that's a broad role for her, but it also positioned us perfectly to become a marketing arm for Impact Health Sharing. So like I said, I was in Oklahoma City for an event, they call them Emerge Events this year in the U.S. It was a corporate sponsored event. There was a couple thousand or so people out there. I spent over an hour with Phil Chrysler. I've since studied, read, I've looked up the topic of health sharing. I learned that health sharing was not something that Phil Chrysler invented. In fact, it had a 40-year history. And it really was born out of a faith-based model. Christian communities created this as a way to try to find, as a method to find affordable health care for people in their churches, in their community, in their congregation. Too many people were having serious financial problems and couldn't afford health insurance. And so they come up with this brilliant idea of a nonprofit approach. And it really has evolved over 40 years. And when I met with Phil, he told me about the inner workings of Impact and how it was much more advanced and different than the companies that came before them. And the reason it was different is the application of technology to allow their system to function more efficiently, and also to monitor the network of members, but also he went in and recruited some incredibly experienced and talented people. He told me there was about 100 years of experience in his management group to run Impact, and so they were doing things so differently than other people I met since that have been part of other health sharing organizations. You know, there's one huge one out there that, you know, you hear advertised on the radio, and and when you read about them, there's some of them that have done really well, a few that haven't done well, but I'm really convinced that the people at Impact are really professional, got really tremendous amount of knowledge, and they've been doing this for 2 years, so they're not testing it with us. What's great for us at ACN is we have a unique relationship right now with them, and we're the only game in town in the entire world that I know about, and certainly in the United States, we're the only company that is offering Impact Health Sharing as a business opportunity. And consider we're saving people, the average family of 4, an average of 50%, actually even as high as 75% for their health care costs. That comes down to Phil saying the average family saves $9,000 per year on traditional health insurance. Now, Oren will tell you his personal experience that when he comes on the call later, because Oren went on to save I think it was over $12,000 a year. Can you imagine that's in savings while providing similar care for his family? The plans start as low as $65. For an individual, they're $330 for families. Now, many of you outside of the country probably don't understand our insurance model, which is fine. But, you know, children that grow up and go to college, I can keep my kids, my young adults on my health care plan until they hit the age of 26. Then they need to have their own insurance. And there's something that President Obama had put in place called Obamacare, which was, you know, some kind of formula that I'm not even an expert at this stuff, and I'm no expert in insurance, I can tell you that. I just know my son, who's 28, is on it. He's paying about $285. I could get a similar plan from Impact for just over $100. So he could save, you know, some really good amount of money there. Now, he could have a plan as high as $250, which saves him a little bit of money, but it really reduces his overhead in terms of exposure if anything catastrophic would happen. In other words, when someone gets a quote for Impact, the quotes will range from a low monthly pay-in amount to a larger amount based on the amount of exposure they want to have in terms of what their personal contribution would be if they had to, you know, have a major problem in their health and need a major procedure or something like that. You don't need to be experts in healthcare. You do not need to be experts on U.S. insurance. You will have to learn the basics. You will have to pass an exam called an accreditation exam for you to personally get a customer. You can override customers in your network without doing it, but if you yourself are going to activate a customer, you will have to pass the accreditation exam, which is about 30 questions, and Oren's going to help you with that and give you some tips on it later today, and many of you have already been doing it. So the key is it's a referral program, and I'll talk to you more about it. So let's just talk more about Impact itself and how it works here in America. It's a comprehensive medical experience with preventative and mental health care. So it's similar to what other insurance programs will have, yet this is called health sharing, not insurance. Yes, we offer prescription discounts, free telemedicine, which is 24/7 to our members. That's not the case in most insurance programs. Members can see doctors nationwide with no network fees. In America, my traditional insurance, I have to have in-network and out-of-network. I have to see if my doctor's in the network, I pay one fee. out of the network, I pay another fee. Since I had a daughter that went to college in another part of the country, I had to get a different kind of insurance so I could cover her without having to pay super high fees. So it made me pay more up front. So there's a very complicated system for insurance in America, but the concept is very, very common. People understand it here. Just with health sharing, there is a paradigm shift that has to occur for people to understand it, because it is a little bit different. But we give you more choices, lower costs with no network limitations, and you can still see your doctor because Impact works with any provider. Now, all the quotes that I'm reading to you come from Impact's materials that are connected on their website directly, but all of their website information is directly available through your IBO back office. If you go on the US section under services, you'll find Impact. I'll click on it in a minute and I'll show you where all that information is. Again, for those that are new looking at the business, maybe you're new to network marketing and ACN, our business model is simple. We create a network of members who come together to share each other's medical bills. We share each other's bills through a nonprofit model. The network is created by independent business owners, IBOs. Most of you are IBOs here. We come together. Why? Because we want to teach each other and help each other to build a customer base, and through that, we build residual income so we can change our lifestyles. And this is a really phenomenal win-win situation. We're going to help people save money on a bill that's really important, that they need to have this service. We can lower it substantially, and you're going to be able to earn money in a way and at a speed that I've never seen before in network marketing, that I've been doing this for 30 years, 23 with this company. So how does it work? Well, first of all, insurance in America, I, for years and years, have been paying my own insurance, and I pay what's called a premium every month. You pay your premiums. The older I get, the higher the premium. The more health problems me or my family members have, the higher the premium. The more members of my family, the higher the premium. And that's basically, if this was a community of people for an insurance company, you basically have the healthy people paying in more than what they take out. You have the people that need health care, need procedures, paying in less than what they take out. So it's always a balancing act of new people coming into the insurance company, help offsetting the people that are needing the care, especially as they get older. But again, the older you get, the higher the premiums. So that's the natural evolution of insurance. But in insurance, as all that money comes into this huge pool for an insurance company, think about their overhead and expenses. Advertising is a huge chunk of that amount of money they got to cover by having you pay a premium. They got to pay all their employees. They're in it to make a profit. They want to become billions or multi-billion-dollar corporations, and they do, because if you're a stockholder, like I've been, of insurance companies, you want to make a profit. And then when you look up the CEOs, the executives, the top executives, the presidents, the chief executive officers, they make millions of dollars in salaries, but they can earn tens of millions in some cases in bonuses for becoming profitable. And a lot of ways they become profitable is they fight you to pay on claims. They don't pay out the insurance claim very quickly. And I actually had a procedure in the last year that wasn't covered by my insurance, yet it was a federally licensed legal program that's recommended in hospitals, and now I'm fighting the insurance company to claim the money back. So that's just the world of insurance. Okay, now what Impact Health Sharing does differently, first of all, there is no payment like a premium. It is a share amount. So if someone wants coverage, they will select they'll select a plan that's right for them, and they'll pay a monthly share amount called a PRA. That's a term you're going to get used to. PRA, primary responsibility amount. So that's the amount you pay in every month. Okay? So that person pays in that amount, And that money is now put into this pool, and all of this Impact Health Sharing community members are putting the money in. Now consider we don't have all the overhead of a traditional for-profit company. It doesn't mean Impact doesn't create profits in terms of salaries for the employees running operations, of course. But they have to be within the guidelines of what standard market rates are for their executives and for their people. Okay, so there's some controls for them to be called a nonprofit. Now, we don't advertise, and since we're the marketing arm, that's us in the red circle. Okay, we share in some of the revenue. So every month, based on the amount of PRA they pay in, consider it like a mobile bill. Consider it like an energy bill. That's a service fee they're paying, their primary responsibility amount. And when they pay that in, we get commissionable revenue on the PRA amount that person pays in. What's interesting about this opportunity, guys, is the average billing per customer is, I think, 4 times greater than my best energy customer. My best energy customer may give me a $50 commissionable value, and you know the name CV. I'll go over it again. And here, the average customer is between $400 and $500 for a PRA. Now, the commissionable value is 40% in the US for this, 40%. So we're going to use the number 500 because it's a pretty average number for a family of 4, okay? And in that example of 500, if you do 40% of 500, that would be 200 commissionable revenue. So think about that in the ACN compensation plan. I know some of you are newer. I am going to get into the comp plan. So I'm going to repeat myself a few times throughout this, good hour or plus presentation. But I really want you to understand what we're doing here. This billing revenue per customer is the highest we've ever provided in ACN. So this means you're going to create billing volumes that can advance you through the pay plan faster. We're going to build personal residuals faster. We're going to provide larger overrides. And this is something you can take advantage of in any market. Now, many of my U.S. leaders I've had personal meetings with and calls with, and several of you are already recruiting and building in America. I'll highlight my dear friend, SVP Olaf Mattsson from Sweden. He's already got 7 different lines represented in the United States right now. 7 different ones because he's networking. And I'll talk to you about how he's doing it and how I networked in all of your countries. I live in the United States, but I have businesses all over the world. And it was the same thing for me as it can be for you. Asking people, who do you know? I'm expanding a business in the United States. They're going to ask, what is it? Say it happens to be in healthcare. They're going to say, what do you know about healthcare? You're going to say, I don't know all that much, but I know I can save people up to 50% or more compared to traditional insurance. Okay? So it's a lead generation program, and again, I'm going to teach you how it works. So this is the statement you need to learn. 5 minutes can save you 50% or more on your healthcare. This is the marketing statement. I'm training you right now how to create curiosity. When I meet somebody, and maybe I need to back up. You need to understand how insurance works at another level. In America, if you work for a large corporation, if you work maybe for a school system or a government, agency, you probably have health insurance given to you, maybe free, so you don't have any reason to shop for insurance. They provide it as part of your compensation. That's true. Most places, though, don't pay it 100%. They pay partially for your insurance, and then you might have to pick up part of it. So any corporation in America with 50 employees or more has to provide some kind of health care coverage. Not that they have to pay for it, but because they're insuring a group policy, they get discounts so they can provide, because of volume, some kind of benefit to their employees. And a lot of companies, they recruit employees to work for them by providing free health care to keep their employees. So just know, not every American is a perfect candidate. The people that have no insurance, maybe 30 million, are perfect candidates. They have none. People who work for themselves, That means they pay in America what's called a 1099 document. For example, my ACN income, I receive these forms called 1099 that they report my income to the government. I have to then use that form to pay my taxes myself. Every small business in America is paid that way. There's millions of small businesses. There's millions of people in the gig economy that work getting their hair cut. They're in the trades, they're electricians, they're plumbers, they work construction, they work in restaurants. A lot of companies cannot provide insurance. So there's millions of people that pay their own insurance. That's a perfect candidate. If they pay all their insurance, they need to get a quote. If they pay partial. Now, I learned that in some cases, if you're working for a corporation, they may pay part of your insurance and they may offer you an opt-out. So in other words, I was learning from Stacy. She said she worked in the school system and she told me that if she opted out, they will pay her back in her paycheck part of the money that they pay for her insurance. So she would have to do the calculation, is the money she's getting back in addition to what she has to pay, when you total that together, is that better or saving her money compared to what impact would do for her? So that is, she still would be a potential customer, but you'd have to do a little arithmetic to find out if it makes sense for her in that case. Now, another group of people that are perfect candidates are people that are age 65 and older. Now, 65 and older in America, you go to your insurance company and you sign up for what's called Medicare, okay? Now, Medicare is for ages 65 and older. It's a government subsidized program to make sure that people, when you become 65 and older, can have health care at affordable levels. So what happens is my dad, who's 85, or anybody that is my older relatives and friends, 65 and older, they probably already have Medicare. And this, I'm not an expert at this, but it's called Medicare A, B, and D. If they have, D is for drugs. If they already sign up for Medicare A, B, and D, they automatically become accepted for impact as a secondary policy. My father, my uncles, a lot of my relatives all carry secondary policies, because if they don't, they're liable for maybe 20% of their medical coverage. So in other words, Medicare, everything they normally cover and pay for, I was told by Phil, Impact also covers those same things. But the difference is, where we pick up is where they let off. So if they pay 80%, we'll pick up the 20%. So it's a flat deal. It's a $1,000 annual PRA. So it's roughly $80-something a month. It becomes the secondary policy, and it works very similar to Medicare and A, B, and D. So again, you don't have to be an expert at this. I'm just trying to say, who is the target market? Underinsured people, people that are not carrying enough insurance, people that are paying some or all of their own insurance, or people who have no insurance at all. That's roughly 90+ million people in America that are our perfect target customers, okay? Everybody that is a direct seller like me in a network marketing company, think about this. Everybody out there doing vitamins, diets, every other service, they pay their own health insurance if they're full-time for sure. They'd be a perfect candidate. Why not sign them up as an IBO and let them run it through their entire network? The market opportunity is incredible. Now, why did I put up 5 minutes can save you 50% or more in healthcare? Well, if you're already in the US or you talk to anybody in America, they're kind of going to laugh when you say this, because there's a famous car insurance commercial where they have a little green gecko, and this gecko represents a company called Geico, right? And they advertise nonstop for years. 15 minutes can save you 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your health care. Think about that. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more. Last year, they did $36 billion in turnover in the US. $36 billion. and they had their biggest growth year last year. Now, 15% of your car insurance isn't a whole lot of money. And frankly, you can get an online quote almost instantly. So I decided to borrow their ingenious marketing idea and train everybody to say, you're getting a haircut, you say to your hairdresser, what do you do for healthcare? Oh, I pay my own. Oh, the company doesn't pay it all. I got a question for you. 5 minutes, I can save you 50% or more in your healthcare. Can I give you a quote? In fact, it doesn't even take 5 minutes. And you could pull up your mobile phone and you can get a quote. Now, the iPhone works really easily to do this. I've made the company Impact aware that when you're on a Android mobile, which myself and a couple of my new IBOs were on Androids, the date function is a scroll on the year, which if you're, especially 60 or something like me, to scroll back that many months is not possible. So I got to go to a PC or a Mac, or I got to go to my tablet to do the quote more easily, but they're going to fix that. So the whole point is you can enter quotes, and you want to do this daily, but you've got to create curiosity. And when they start asking a lot of questions, you don't want to get into answering all the questions. 5 minutes can save you 50% or more. It's a referral business model. That's why I love this. As a network marketing professional for 30 years, easily identifiable value for the consumer, number one. Number two, simplicity of the process for acquiring the customer and duplication. All I got to do is say, you want to save money? I can get a quote in seconds. They go, what? How do you do that? I want you to speak to an expert at Impact Healthcare. And on your back office, all you got to do is refer them to a lead generation. Now, if they want to make money, you create curiosity about the opportunity, you're going to invite them to an online presentation. Just because we live across the ocean from each other doesn't mean you can't network across the ocean. Zoom meetings have no borders. When you meet Oren later, you're going to realize you don't even need to wait for me. They're doing more traditional presentations where I'm totally sold out on impact, and my presentations are really impact. Then at the end, powered by ACN. We're going to talk about it all today, so I hope you're up for a lot of information. The timing couldn't be better in America for this or anywhere in the world. We're going to provide people an online business where they can earn residual profits month after month, year after year, by simply helping people to lower their healthcare costs. The online storefront you're all familiar with. It's in 16 languages. You're going to have to click on this, go to the US one. They're going to see all of these different services. You don't even have to work with any of these to build your business with impact. But realistically, you'd be kind of naive not to learn about what we're offering in America. Okay? It's just because services are keys to unlock a compensation plan, whether it's Truvi in Europe and ID Seal, or it's any of these other services. In many cases, too many things slows down the business because it confuses people. It's too much to learn. So I suggest to people learn one or two things, get good at one or two things first before you start learning about everything else. Impact is the simplest of all of them. I don't have to worry, are the energy rates this good this month or not good? If it's mobile, I don't have to worry if you're in contract, out of contract, your device is paid for, it's unlocked, it's not unlocked, whether you're a service in your area, you understand? It's simple. I just got to target to see if you're an optimal customer, get you a lead, let the impact professionals do their magic, get those leads generated every single day, and let's build a huge customer base here. Now, I'm going to talk about a few of these services as we go through the presentation today, because to get someone into the business is one thing, but to release the cab bonuses, we need to get them qualified. And you could do it with just impact, but realistically, if you owned a store selling milk, eggs, bread, and so forth, are you going to go to someone else's store to buy milk and eggs? So if you're using these services anyway, redirect the spend and get credit for your own stuff. So we're going to talk about that before we're done. But let's talk about the training for how do you teach someone to put in a lead. Someone says to me, okay, I say, hey, what do you do for healthcare? They say, well, what are you talking about? Well, I got a funny thing to say. 5 minutes can save you 50% or more in your health care. In fact, it's not even 5 minutes. What are you talking about? What are you doing? Seriously, do you pay your own health care costs? Do you pay for your own insurance? Listen, let me give you a quick quote. Pull out your phone, do a little quote, okay? Where do you get the quote? This is my front page of my online. This is a screenshot of my UNI, United Networks International, online storefront. In the US, in Europe, we call it an online shop. We call it a storefront. When they click under services, you will then see the list of services. There is healthcare there. When they click on healthcare, this is what comes up. Now, when I'm sharing the opportunity with somebody and they want to know about the health sharing and I don't want to mix the message, I go and I actually pulled up my online shop. I clicked to this page. Then I copied the URL and I sent this URL to people because that way when they clicked on it, they didn't have to see all the rest of my online shop and find their way to this. I wanted to get their interest in impact as an opportunity or as a service. In either one, I'm going to send them directly to this one link, not to any other link. Did you understand that? Okay. Now, if they, all the way through, everything that you will find on the impacthealthsharing.com website, everything that's there is right here connected to your online storefront. It's all there. Now, any way through, they can scroll, they can watch videos, they can get all the information, read the guidelines. Whenever they click on Learn More, it instantly goes to looking to save on your health care, delivers a modern and affordable alternative to health insurance, and then this comes up, okay? And in this, what it's going to say is enter the birth date of the oldest person applying. And then you put, if it's a family, let's say of 4, you'd put the oldest household member, and then how many applicants, you'd click 3+, and you click a quote, and instantly that quote comes up and gives you 4 different options. Now, I can go live before we're done and actually show you a couple quotes. If any Americans are on here that would like me to do that, I'll show you how it works, okay? But the idea is this. Notice it says here, members who use tobacco or vape regularly are required to pay a tobacco assessment. I will also let you know that there is some other limitations. If you're really overweight, there might be a little, a little extra fee. The best customers are healthy to mostly healthy people. If you have a lot of pre-existing health conditions, you have to wait 36 months since the diagnosis and any follow-up care for that condition. When you're 3 years past that condition, then you're considered having no pre-existing conditions. So in some cases, maybe many cases, that person really needs to stay with their insurance provider, okay? But for people who are healthy, mostly healthy, like most people you're going to talk to, this is a perfect program for them. Now, again, this came out of a Christian-based formula that these companies started from. Although, Impact is not strictly for Christians by any means. It's an ethics-based program, open to all people, all backgrounds, all race, religion, creed, cultures, and it's an equal opportunity for people. But they have their ideals that they stick to. They do not cover things like birth control where insurance might. They do not cover vaccinations or immunizations. So, somebody may, there's definitely some immunizations required for schools in America that they may have to pay for. But the cost savings offset any of these things by a large margin from what I've researched. We won't pay for abortions and things like that. So again, this is why you need to go through the material. You need to watch the videos. You need to understand how it's different than insurance, but how it works and tastes like insurance. When a person goes to my doctor, I give them an insurance card. In this case, I'd give them an impact card. It tells them who to bill, okay? Again, this is the form online, whether this, I did a screenshot from my PC. I fill out the details and notice it has the ACN IBO ID number, which is mine. You're more than welcome to use my ID number anytime you want to get a quote. I'm just kidding, because if you do, it becomes my customer, but you're welcome to use it. Now, here's one thing that's very important to train your people on. People will nose around and they'll end up on the impacthealthsharing.com website. Do not put your leads in through their website. Now, they may pick it up if you've already been accredited and you might get credit, but I won't leave it to chance. The only way that you know for sure that your lead will become your customer in the future is if you have them go through your online storefront and fill out your lead form, which will link them to your IBO number, and then the experts in Impact have a goal to get back to them within 3 days. Again, I gotta ask Estelle, I think I gotta mute you. There you go. Okay. So what happens is they will get back to you. The experts in Impact do the work. Now, I talked to a woman, this Jody Spitzer, who'd been working with them for 2 years prior to ACN acquiring Team National. She has 200 personal customers. She's making, a lot of money, a lot of money. And she just is really good at getting customers. She told me a couple things that's important for all of us. Number one, she says, just ask, what do you do for healthcare? And she says, don't get caught up in the details of, well, does it cover this? Does it cover that? Give them some basic information, but learn to say, I don't have all the answers, but I know where to get them. Let me put the lead in. Let's fill out the information, and you'll get a call from the Impact. Make sure you're not putting in bogus leads. This is a problem. They should be filling out this form. You could be with them, but they really need to fill out the form. Now, my training is going to be how many leads can you enter a day? Because the goal is going to be to get 100 personal customers each, and I'll show you why in a minute. So filling out the lead form, do you see how easy it is? 5 minutes can save you 50% or more. I got questions. I don't have all the answers. Let me fill out the form. You'll get someone as an expert to get back to you. And they've been doing really good. Now, of course, when we just opened May 9th, putting in leads and started onboarding the first customers just June 1st today, they've been overwhelmed with the amount of leads. So they're ramping up as we grow. They're going to have to grow. But these guys are brilliant. Both Stacy and myself and others I've talked to, we've had them call us. We've had them do the follow-up. They didn't just call once, they called several times. But you need to make sure they're waiting for that call. Now let's talk about compensation, okay? Because I talked to you about how to generate the leads, how to talk to potential customers about it. I just want you to keep it this simple. Now, in Europe and some parts of the world, you'll notice your personal residuals are 3 to 15%. In the United States, they have more margins to work with on their services, so it's 3 to 20% on the residuals, 3 to 20% of what's called commissionable revenue. Now, you should already know that if you've been in the business for any length of time, but again, I'm going to go through this, and then I'm going to go through a whole set of corporate slides that are in your back office. So you're going to hear me go through this more than once right now. I really want to take the time to go through it so you understand the comp plan. So you can get 3 to 20% on your personal commissionable revenue services. Now, in Impact, in training, the company has shown this is a model for training purposes. Someone could get to the 20% level, then it's possible to have 25 customers and do that and be earning 1,000 residual. Now, how do we do that? Consider the average family, let's say the bill is $500. That would be 40% commissionable revenue, that's $200. If it's $200 times 25, then you do the math, you do 20% of that comes out to $1,000. We did the math. So in that same model, what if you do twice as well? You do 50 customers, that could be 2,000 personal residual a month. Imagine 100 personal customers at the average, and again, these are hypotheticals based on the model, that $500 is the average bill at 40% commissionable revenue. Let me put it all together on a slide. We're assuming the average $500 a month health sharing PRA. Okay, that's the family putting in PRA of $500 a month. Some people will be 1,000. Some may be just 100, 150. Okay, so 25 customers, we calculated if you're at the 20% personal level, and I'll talk about how to get there, but you have to have a personal customer point total for you getting customers of 200 points. In that hypothetical model for this training purposes, you'd have 1,000, 2,000, or even a 4,000 a month residual. I predict, after all my years of doing this type of business, that the US ACN IBOs are going to have the highest personal residual incomes of any MLM network marketing company in the history of the industry because of impact. The amount of billing, the residual, the value for the customer, the simplicity of the referral model. It's powerful, guys. So let's say you want to get a goal of 100 customers. How do you get to those points? Well, just on impact, and I'm not going to go through every service, every point level. You got to print out the U.S. compensation. I got the forms in front of me. You can read through the forms, and you can see how many points for each service, how they pay. But on impact, if someone was doing a $500 bill, I believe I have these numbers right. I think that's 500. That's 6 points of service. So 0 to 149 is 2 points. 150 to 349 is 4 points. 350 to 649 is 5 points, or 550 and up is 6 points. So you can't let people get scared when they say, oh my gosh, 200 points, how am I ever going to qualify? Well, if you get 201 point customers, yeah. Okay, if you did 100 2-point customers, okay, you got 100. But if you're talking the potential of 5 and 6 point customers, you understand it's not that many customers in the real world. There are going to be so many people that never even build teams or downlines, and they just focus on customer acquisition, because most sales gigs, you got to keep selling month after month and get paid. You don't get residual. So this is powerful. I was talking to that woman, Jody, who did 200 customers. She was talking to people in small businesses, and they were bringing on small businesses. We even offer, Impact offers group billing for small businesses. Now, the CV is not quite as high, but it's still a phenomenal program. I think the CV is only 25%, not 40%. But it's a way that a small business might provide coverage, either partially or pay for it entirely for their employees. And they may do that because it's a way to lock in their employees, because a lot of companies in America right now are having labor shortages. They're having trouble keeping employees. So companies, even small little places where you buy sandwiches and to-go food, they're offering full insurance benefits to keep employees today. So there is a huge opportunity that's bigger than you think when you look at impact. Now, in Europe, a lot of us are used to 5 levels of 3 to 5% commission, depending on the service. In America, it's a 4% commissionable payout through 5 levels. So that means, just like you always knew, you sponsor 2 people, that's level 1. They each sponsor 2 is 4, that's level 2. They sponsor 4 is 8, that's level 3. Those 8 sponsor 2 is, it doubles and doubles through 5 levels. When I first started network marketing, the model I saw was sponsor 5 people. That's level 1. They each sponsor 5. Level 2 is 25. They each sponsor 5 is 125. Your level 4 becomes 625, and then the numbers get stupid. So you think the whole world would be in. But it's always been, for me, about the power of the comp plan. It was never about the service. My first company was a water filter. You think I was in love with a water filter? So many of us, we get caught up because we naturally do. Well, I love my vitamin. I love my washing powder if it was Amway, or I love my diet products as Herbalife, or maybe you don't love ID theft protection, or maybe you don't love energy. Whatever it is you love or you don't love, why you're in network marketing, guys, is residual-based income. That's why you should be here. And all the services is keys to unlock the compensation plan. That's what they're tools to unlock this revenue stream, because without customers, no one makes any money. So you got to learn the comp plan, what your personal requirements are, and what you want to create through your organization to advance in the positions. Okay? So to get qualified for these levels, I'm going to be talking about that today. But when I was looking at the company, when I was at the training they did, they said, we want you to know how powerful impact is, because the billing revenue is so high that on a $500 bill, you get $200 pushed through the commission that you can earn your 4% on. So they said if you had 250 customers in those 5 levels, the math comes out to $2,000 a month override. That's not your personal residual. You still get that, but this is overriding residuals. If you had 500 in those levels, that's 4,000. If you had 1,000 customers in those 5 levels, we're talking 8,000 a month. That's 100,000 a year. Guys, if you know me, you know my story is documented. We created in our team over 1 million, literally 1 million fixed telephone customers, tens of thousands of energy customers. I got crazy thinking, my gosh, I'm a new IBO all over again. 1,000 customers in 5 levels can make 8,000. I can make with 100 personal customers 4,000. That'd be 12 grand a month residual. No one would be working a normal job if they were doing that. They'd be full-time, all in, all the time. So this is, to me, a reinvention of the opportunity. No different than I really see TrueV once you get it, guys. Even IDCL Guardian in Europe. Once you guys understand how those are keys to unlock the plan, every IBO should sign up for 2. Every person you know is a friend should be signed up for both services because they're going to help you unlock the pay plan. And in Europe, you have bonuses we don't have here in the U.S. Just like in the U.S., they have things we don't have in Europe or in Latin America or other parts of the world. Okay, this is that slide altogether, guys. Again, I'm talking about overriding routine monthly residuals on your 5 levels of IBOs. And your best bet is sponsor frontline, set a goal to get to 3, 4, 5, and then teach them how to duplicate and build through the power of the compounding effect. So again, this model to show, and the company showed this model of 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, was assuming that there was an average of $500 per health share plan. So that's probably a family of 4. And that's at a 40% commissionable value of 200. That would be a hypothetical model to just give you the idea of how this worked. I asked Jody when I said, hey, you got 200 customers, would that mean you're making roughly 100 grand a year? She kind of chuckled and said, well, I'm not going to tell my income, but you're not far off. So I know it's real. And of course, we don't put our incomes out there, but you got to look at the plan and realize this is a powerful residual plan. Now, in Europe, in Latin America, in Canada, in Australia, New Zealand, everywhere has little differences in their pay plan. When someone starts as an IBO here, there's another way you make money, and that is our personal customer bonuses. The more personal customers you get, whether you're an existing IBO or you are a new IBO, the more customers, the more money. So there's always an incentive for new IBOs in that first month to become CQ. That means they go from IBO, independent business owner, to customer qualified IBO. Now, we have a goal. The company requires that if any bonuses are going to get paid out, they need to be qualified in their first 30 days because they don't want us just signing people up and then saying, good luck, like throwing spaghetti against the wall, right, to see if it sticks, to see if it's done. You've got a responsibility to teach that new person how to get their first few customers. That's why you're going to take them into the back office. Go on a Zoom, say, let's show you the back office. Let me show you, what services. Let me help you sign up for some services. This is the training. You need to coach them. Now, in America, if the new person, let's say I'm your new IBO, I sign up today. I earn my first $75 if I get CQ customer qualified in the first 30 days. Now, we'll talk more about that, about what a CQ is and how to do it. But if I go on to earn to get 5 services in that first, month, not only will I get the 75, but my total will bring me to $200 because I guess to qualify here in the U.S., I'll read what it says on the document. I need 7 personal customer points, but I need to get them from at least 3 services. So you can't just do them with 1 or 2 services. You got to market 3 services. And generally 3 services will put you past 7 points. So whatever services you focus on, of course, impacts our primary goal here. But with 7 personal customer points, and again, let me clarify, points are customers, customers are points. And the point system was put in place because we have a global network that there's so many different services that they want to pay us on, and the point value is higher based on the service that brings the higher revenues and the best value to ACN. So the more revenue or the higher value to ACN, the more points they can give the products. The points is a scoring system for us to receive bonus money, to receive, and also that reflects our ability to advance to higher pay positions in the pay plan, okay? So customers are points, points are customers. So in America, we want to the first trick is to get the new person qualified so that they can get their first 75. And if they push past 3 services to 5, that becomes a $200 bonus. Now, in the calendar month, for every 3 additional services, they can get another $200. So it's possible that they can get 8 services for $400, 11 services for $600. So again, every 3 services after 5 is another $200, and there's no end point. So this is for those that just want to get customers. They're not building teams. All they're doing is focusing. Again, refer to the official comp plan for the details. Now, what's also interesting for many potential customers, maybe for yourself, is we have charities here that ACN built an in-house charity called Project Feeding Kids. They also work through Feeding America and the Canadian and the food banks of Canada. And many of our services, many of our branded services, when we acquire the customer and they pay their monthly bill, a customer is acquired, a child is fed. We've helped pay millions of meals for that. So, there's a lot of people that they make their choice of service providers just on that. So it's just a side note for you. Let's go into a piece of the comp plan that a lot of people don't understand, but it is so important. And it relates to when you sponsor me, I'm your new partner. I'm your new IBO. The reason you want me to get customer qualified is a little bit different than the reason I do. The reason I want to become a CQ in 30 days is that's how I get my $75. If I don't qualify with those 3 services and 7 points in 30 days, and I wait till, 40 days or 45, I forfeit that customer acquisition bonus. I lose that 75. But you also lose, and everybody in the upline and in the support time, in the support structure that's eligible to earn a team customer bonus here, these customer acquisition bonuses, there's no money paid out. Now, how would I explain that to new people? Every company has a cost for acquiring customers. They pay advertising, they pay commissions and bonuses. So since we're not paying advertising, this is built into our plan that because we were successful helping the new IBO become a CQ, not only are they paying out that 75, they're paying out a total bonuses up to $350 to somebody based on the level you are at. At the lower level positions, you could get $50 for helping that guy make 75. If you're higher up, you could get a lot more. You could get $350 for helping him make 75. Imagine that, you could make $350 at the highest pay level for helping them do that. So it depends on where you are in the pay plan. I'm just giving you an overview on this. I'd have to pull out the form to give you the exact numbers, and I'm not going to do that tonight. Now, you'll notice after CQ, you want to become executive team leader. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing and go to another screen for a second here. I'm going to share a different screen with you now. Let me just go to this. Okay, screen share. And I'm going to go to, where is it? I'm going to go to this. This is live on my comp plan. Okay, what I want to show you here, guys, is this is the customer qualified, 7 personal points from 3 services, okay? ETL is 30 customer points. 30 ETL must maintain CQ, this 7 plus 3, okay, and with 30 points total in your team. Now that's the basic promotion to executive team leader. So that's your next big goal. I love people to target this as their first month's goal. Let's start building not only yourself, but building a team. Because it's not just you, it's what you and your team produce. Regional coordinator is the next position. It says 200 customer points, personal and downline. There's a minimum of 200 customer points in your team with a maximum of 100 customer points per leg. That means I can have one leg that could go to 150, but only 100 of that team can go toward my 200. So to really advance in this, you have to do a lot more personal customers or build more than one team. Okay, so that's why I always tell people, try to target starting 3 different people in the business as soon as possible. Build with a 3x3 mindset. 3 people, because I can work with 3. and then train them to work with 3, and keep building that structure, each getting some customers. And you'll move not only to regional coordinator, but regional director, which in Europe, there's a big bonus for doing that. They don't have that €7,000 or £7,000 payout, but you want to get to team regional director, you need 600 points, customer points, with a maximum of 200 counting from any one leg. So I could have a line with 300 points, but only 200 count toward the 600. So that means I need at least 3 lines going. If I get 3 lines, 200, 200, 200, I have the CQ minimum customers, then I'm qualified. I could do 100 personal points myself. Now I only need 500 in my team, a maximum of 200 per leg. Regional vice president, you want to be looking at building 4 teams of people to get there. You need 3,000 personal points, but this is where you need to also have a minimum. You want billing requirements. They have a level called gold where you need 200,000. A platinum level is 300,000. They have a limit on how much volume per leg can count. So in other words, no one can ride to the top position on one big leg. Okay, or 2 big legs. You got to build a really good team, a well-structured. This forces you as a leader to develop new people to work with your teams that need the help. Okay, again, the maximum per leg is 750. So if you did the math, that would be 4 teams. If you went to senior vice president, you need a minimum of 6 teams. And now you need to promote some regional vice presidents, at least 2 legs, and 4 lines have to have at least 1 regional director. You need at least a $500,000 billing total, at least, with 250,000 could be the maximum per leg. Now, we did a little math on this because a lot of people have been structure-wise ready to go senior vice president, but they don't have the volume. That was before Impact. With Impact, we did some math. 2,500 customers in your organization on the average billing of 500 PRA would give you enough billing volume that you could be a senior vice president with as little as 2,500 customers. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to go back to my other slide, guys. So we'll just wanted to show you that. Now, where was I? I was in the training slides. Okay, let's see if I can pick up where I left off. Okay, where I left off was, okay, now notice that we do always have a disclaimer, guys. RVP and SVP, you get paid below the 5th level on your residuals. You get the highest cab bonuses. You can earn incentive trips. Again, it's like any business. The more value you create, the higher you go in the plan. I always read the disclaimer. I used to, kind of glaze over it before, but now I'm actually reading it right after I show the comp plan because I don't want somebody misunderstanding this, that they think this is, some kind of get-rich-quick plan or that it's a job. This is a business. And you need to, learn the business, refer to the official comp plan. Your only income is based on the sale of products to customers and people using those products. You're going to have expenses. You have sign-up fees. You have monthly support fees. You have other possible expenses. But like any business, the earnings and success are not guaranteed. They depend on the individual's persistent effort and results of getting customers personally or through their team. You will not earn income, and you could lose money if you're not getting customers. So do things the right way. I'm in ACN for the long term. I've been 23 years and I'm protecting this, and I want you to protect this as if it's your own company. Now, getting started in America is a little different. Our price point is a little different in every market. Here, it's $199 is your basic startup fee. And then there's a $25 a month business support fee. Now, that means if you sponsor me today, I'm going to pay the $199 plus the $25 for the first month, so it'd be $224. That's to get me started, and if there's taxes and whatever, it depends on the state you're in. Now, what does that get you? Okay, you're all familiar with this if you're in the business. You get your personalized website. You need to help your guy get it set up. You get access to the Compass online training and marketing support. You get complete business tracking, reporting. And think about it. I say to people, they're hosting your website. They're doing the billing. They're doing the customer service. Impact experts are talking to your customers to educate them, answer questions, help onboarding them. How much would you pay for that? If you owned a business and or owned a restaurant, how much would it cost if you had to just paint the sign? Think about it. You can't find a business for $199 or in Europe for €200. Are you kidding me? It's incredible. So what do you got to get people to learn? That they can't learn this all before they get started. It's earn while you learn. Enroll as an IBO. I don't expect, if you're new, to digest everything I've already gone through. You can watch this again. You can see it again. You've got to utilize the support system. You're in business for yourself, never by yourself. Participate in training. Start acquiring customers. Get your online shop for your people up and running. Okay? There's something new in America I want to talk just a minute about. This concept could be adopted, and I know the owners have looked into potential partners already for Europe for something similar. And I was really proud of this because the company we acquired, Team National, was offering these things that we now call perks. But they're not something we're retailing to the consumer. ACN decided to give them as an added free benefit for those that are IBOs in America. For becoming a member, an IBO, you receive ACN perks, which brings incredible benefits to every member simply by starting your business and remaining active, paying your $25 a month. Now, I'm not going to go all through this. The slides and the details are in your back office, but there's benefits and value exclusively for IBOs in the form of group discounts, special prices, and more that generally not available to the public. And we're talking in America, people know Macy's department store. They know, everyone knows American Airlines. They know Delta Airlines. They know Apple Computer. We have cash back on average of 5% on all these things. Instacart and going to Home Depot and going to Lowe's, which is huge, hardware stores and housing supply stores. Furniture Direct is dramatic, up to 40% discounts. So what they did is they're also soon going to be launching called IBO benefits. So you're going to receive $25 rewards, IBO rewards, where you'll get a $25 equivalent of your monthly pay-in. You're going to get back in a digital wallet that you can use for localized shopping in your region where you live, where you can get maybe 2-for-1s at restaurants and stores nearby you. You'll get $10 off here. But ACN has decided, let's create so much value for the membership that our IBOs will have no reason to ever stop being a member. And then hopefully they're going to be motivated to get customers. And ACN's looking into this concept abroad as well. So again, wherever you live, wherever you're watching this from, our opportunity is only going to get better. And what's happening in America is part of your business, which is why you're on with me tonight. So here's a short video that would just give you a look at ACN perks. I just want to let you know I have a Facebook page that somehow Facebook said there was a logo violation of ACN somewhere. I have no idea why. I got 10,000 followers there, but I have not been able to get access to my Facebook page. They got some weird policies because I did nothing wrong. I can't even get anybody to get back to me. ACN even tried to help me out with it. So hopefully they'll get back up and running soon. I do have ouruNIteam.com. I have to now replace and repair a lot of videos. I'm going to hire my web master to do some work for me when I get back from Europe after the 21st to update that. But there's really relevant videos in the training section still on, we called it PBRs, but that's really on how to invite to Zoom meetings. You can learn the same thing. I do a training on Zoom on there. I do goal setting on there. I do, some mindset of building teams there. I talk about it. I wouldn't bother with the compensation so much. I created a WhatsApp group. Most of you know about this event because, with the help of John McDougall, my partner in London, we created this impact group, which is really specifically for people that want to learn to build in the United States. I've been doing Tuesday and Thursday nights, so tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, which for those in Europe, Central Europe, it's 6 hours later, 2 in the morning, 1 o'clock for Portugal or the UK. I've had people up in all these countries on our meetings. When I get back, I'm going to launch a new schedule, guys. I'm going to do some afternoon meetings for impact for guests like this time right now so that it's more convenient for you. And there'll be some people available during the day in the U.S. But the reason of course, I do them so late is for U.S. prospects. Now, you can always refer people to the meetings without being there, and then just follow up with them the next day. But I also plan to do also some kind of training like this, a more formulated training. This is the first one I've actually done where I'm mixing ACN stuff in with this. But again, before I turn it over to Oren Solomon, who's online with us, I want to just make sure that if you're getting people to Impact Health Sharing, don't let them enter the leads there. Do it through your back office. So that's really the impact stuff that I wanted to talk about. It's an overview of some of the compensation. I want you to take note of ACN Elevate event. While I'm in Europe, there's one going on in Baltimore. I know Oren's going to that, a lot of IBOs. But the one I'm targeting, and I know John McDougall from London and several people from America have already booked trips using Truvy, by the way. They're coming into Fort Lauderdale. That's Friday, September 30th, and Saturday, October 1st. It's a day-and-a-half event. They start at noon on the Friday. They go to about 6, and then they go all day on Saturday. Then we have our team meetings that night. Some of us have team meetings and wrap-up sessions on Sunday, but the corporation does not host any events on Sunday. You can fly into Miami. It's not a far drive to get to Fort Lauderdale. There's probably no real direct flights from Europe to Fort Lauderdale. I'm looking to bring a whole new group of people into this event. That's again a Friday, Saturday. It's a great weather down there, great time of year to be there. So put that down as the next big global event. I know I got a lot of Latin American IBOs coming in for that. Again, that's the stuff I wanted to cover with you today, but we have a very special guest on. You don't get to hear from him often, but Oren Solomon is my upline, and he helped bring in people like Mike Kane and Larry Raskin, and he built the stage that I've been dancing on for years. And he and his wife Angela are just the sweetest people in the world. They're professional from everything they do. They're family people. They got a beautiful young family. He's always been there to help me when I've needed help in the United States. Oren is a star, guys. He's probably the one star most of you in Europe have not heard enough from. I'm going to ask him to come on and be guest speaker once in a while on our U&I leadership calls. But Oren, I want to make sure that you're co-host here. And I am making you co-host now. So you are now co-host. And in fact, Oren, I'm going to spotlight you for everyone. And I'll spotlight myself to be with you. So people can add us together. But Oren has, this is a guy that, if I remember right, did you go to Villanova and you played some football there in college? And maybe you can just tell a little bit of your story. There are a lot of people that don't know you, Oren, but I've been telling you since we spent some time and sat together in Oklahoma at the Emerge event 2 months ago, roughly, that this is the greatest thing I've seen in my 30 years of network marketing, and yeah. I was a new IBO all over again. I'm going to work Europe by day, international by day, America by night, and my goal is to help build all my teams around the world, lines in the U.S. to take advantage of impact, and that I was sold out to lead with that story. And, Oren has a tremendous organization in the United States and all over the world. So I asked Oren if he could come on and maybe share some tips for all of you that want to build here, and he can let you know about his support system, maybe give you some tips on how he's getting some people qualified with the services they're doing, so that you can learn the tricks of the trade here. So Oren, I'm going to take myself off the spotlight, and I'm going to let you take over and help. And thank you. It's been a long training, but I got so little time between now and leaving for 17 days on Saturday for Europe. So thanks for being on, my friend.
No problem, buddy. Great to see you, Artie, man. Sorry I missed you in Mexico. We couldn't make the trip, and really wanted to spend some time with you and your team. But
well, family's first. You had a graduation. I get it.
My son graduated from college. Exactly. I had to take care of that. But I wanted to share with you guys. Artie asked me to jump on the Zoom today. A lot of times, I like to share with people. Look, you're working with probably the top guy in ACN, and sometimes it is so easy to take that for granted. because he's doing all these conference calls with you and he's flying out and he's spending time with you guys. And there are a lot of people that don't have what you have in ACN. There are a lot of people that can't work with a senior vice president, can't work with a Circle of Champions member or influencer or someone with Artie's knowledge. So I just want to share with you, just coming from my perspective, don't take that for granted. It's so easy to look. I was guilty of that myself. I was personally working with Mike Kane early on, and he was really close with the owners of the company. And I just took his leadership for granted at times. And then when he went inside, it was gone. So you really want to take all the information you can from Artie, all the wisdom, squeeze as much as you can out of them to help you grow your business. So real quick, I know I may be strangers to some of you. My name is Oren Solomon. I've been with ACN for 29 years. Prior to ACN, I was a college football player. Now this is American football, not European football. So I know soccer is the real football. So, but I played college football at Villanova University. I tried out for 7 NFL teams, didn't work out for me. And fortunately for me, I was working at a job and someone approached me about ACN. I was 23 years old when I saw it. In about 9 months, I was able to quit my job. I worked ACN really hard. I worked from 8 till faint, 9 months. I put myself in a position to walk away from corporate America at 24. And at 25, I became the youngest regional vice president at ACN at the time. And, during that period after that, we were fortunate to find people like Artie and George and James Adlam and Leanne Gabriel. And I can go on and on and on and on and on, all the leadership that we've been able to develop. But a lot of it has to do with ACN. The company is just a phenomenal company. You guys know that. And they constantly reinvent themselves. And, I personally jumped on today. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an open branch, an open olive, to be able to plug into some of the things that we're doing here in North America. We have a tremendous system in place to assist you guys and grow your businesses here. Artie said it so eloquently about all the great things we've got going on with Impact Health Sharing. If we just had that opportunity alone, it'd be the best opportunity in network marketing, okay? If we just had Impact Health Sharing. But the reality is we have so much more. We have so many more services. So I just wanted to cover a couple things with you guys to let you know what you have access to and you can use, especially here going into the summer months. So for the month of June, ACN has these new bonuses that we open up here in North America. Now, when you get 5 energy customers, 5 electricity customers, there's a $200 bonus on the table for you. So if you have any business here in North America, man, gas and electricity is still a great service to offer. And usually in our market, when it gets really hot, the energy bills go up. So the usage goes up, which means the residuals go up. So you can get 5 energy customers, $200. There's a promotion in which the electricity customers, I think, are 2 customer points. So you can go into the back office and see some of the things, but always at the beginning of every month, you want to go into your back office on the American side and look at the promotions for the beginning of the month, because there's usually some great doozies in there for you to kind of help you advance your business. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys really quick, I'm going to share my screen, is our team website. So our team website is teamrevolution.com. And if you look at teamrevolution.com, we've got all kind of docs on here and all kind of support documents. So I'll show you one of them really quick. If you scroll down on teamrevolution.com, the bottom right here, we have a texting device service. And if you text Global Rev to that number right there, you will get an alert 15 minutes prior to each one of our big events. Meaning, so every Monday night at 9 p.m. and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US, we do a live Zoom webinar. It's not recorded, it's live. So we go through the full presentation with all the services like Impact Health Sharing and ACN Perks. It's a 20-minute presentation, but it's very powerful. You can put prospects on from all over the country, all over the globe, and it's a live presentation every week. On Sunday nights at 9 p.m., I have a team Zoom call. It's a training call for people that you have. If you have people in the U.S., they can plug into that. Now, Lorraine in the U.S. and Jesse, they're on that call as well. That's at 9 p.m. So again, if you text Global Rev to that number, you will get an alert 15 minutes prior to each one of these events. During the week, from Tuesday to Thursday morning at 8 a.m., we do what is called a mojo call. And the mojo call is just it's a 10 to 15 minute motivational message from some of our top local leaders. It's a great way to start your day. Again, you'll get a text 15 minutes prior to the mojo call. And then a couple times a month, at Monday nights, we do an 8 o'clock leadership call Monday night. And that's done with Regional Vice President Donna Perkins for people that are kind of advancing in the business that need advanced information as well. And then on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we do a Zoom training. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes long. So
Can you scroll up so we could see the bottom, because we can't see the schedule. No, the other way. There we go. Yeah, we can't see. There we go. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so we have as you can see, we have the Saturday morning Zoom. But again, if you sign up for the texting device service, you don't need that. You'll get the alert 15 minutes prior to, so you can forward it to all the people that you have in the US to give them a reminder to jump on the Zoom. All right, so it's an automated text system. It just keeps you plugged in with everything we got going on. Artie also asked me to share with you, when you're doing impact health sharing here in the US, on our team site, we have training documents. So we want everybody to win. So we have a little cheat sheet here. In order for you to be able to sign up gas and electricity customers and impact health sharing customers, you must go through an accreditation process. So there's a test that you have to take. Well, on our site, we have a cheat sheet. So this is the impact health sharing cheat sheet here. Okay.
That's
so
awesome.
This is the answer to all the questions in order to get accredited for impact health sharing. Is that awesome or what?
That's awesome. Thank you, Warren.
Yeah. So all of your new IBOs, when they get started, you immediately want to get them accredited so they can sign themselves up for impact health sharing, sign up other customers. Here's the list. I think there's maybe one question that's not missing, but as long as you get a 90% on the impact health sharing test, you passed. Okay. And you are now, you can now sign up impact health sharing customers. So all the questions are here. And the same thing goes with gas and electricity as well. All right, and those are the questions here. Also, we have customer acquisition scripts here, team building scripts. Your cup runneth over with information and training and all the details to help you grow. Last thing I want to mention, June 11th, we have our Emerge event in Baltimore, Maryland. Now that event is sold out for the live portion of it, but you can register for it online. It's only $29 to watch the virtual Emerge event, and you can do that through your back office as well. So I just wanted to jump on here to just be a resource for you guys. I know that many of you have people, not just in Europe, but all over the world. Feel free to plug into what we're doing, guys. We're here to help. You guys are all a part of our organization. We're all one team. We just want to build the biggest network marketing company in the history. We have everything in place right now to do it. So Artie, I hope that covers everything.
You covered, it was great. I'm so happy that you're there to support us. Let me just ask you one specific question. A lot of people's interest here is around impact. Now, you personally did your own quote. You already got your points showing up. You got your customers. Tell us a little bit about your experience and your savings.
Yes. Okay. So prior to me signing up for Impact Health Sharing, I was spending $1,400 a month for health insurance for a family of 5. My wife and 3 kids. We have 3 boys. And so I went to an Emerge event. I think last one was in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. And I went to the booth and I spoke to the lady at the booth. And this, by the way, they're going to do this at all the events. So like the event we have coming to Baltimore, same thing will happen. Even the Elevate event and Fort Lauderdale, Florida, you actually will be able to do this. So I went up to them. They said, give me the age of the oldest person in the home. That would be me. And they basically just spit out a quote right there. And they quoted me $531 a month for a family of 5. I get 52 visits a year. Nobody goes to the hospital 52 times a year. So I have way more benefits, way more perks, family of 5. So I saved about $900 a month. and healthcare costs, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's a that's a car. That's a lot of different things. And so it just and here's the deal. Not only did I save a bunch of money, I now get paid on it as well. So I mean, guys, this is a no-brainer. It is a slam dunk. I just signed one of my other sons. So one of my sons in the business, he's an RD. His name is Jacob. He's the one that graduated from Villanova University 2 weeks ago. That's why we couldn't go to the trip. But he's also an IBO in the company. We just put in another son. He's a twin. We put them in the business because here's what's happening. We have people contacting us now about getting into AC. And I got a phone call a few weeks ago from a networker who said, "Hey, tell me about what's happening with health sharing." Now, I have been recruiting this guy for years. And he told me, no. He calls me up, asked me about it. I gave him a 2-minute blurb about it. Then he three-ways another guy up in Las Vegas, and we're on the phone talking about it. Those guys got in our business. He said, "Listen, I know all the other services you're offering. I just want to market Impact Health Sharing." He's already got 4 Impact Health Sharing customers right now. He's put 4 people in the business. I put my son in before I put him in. So I'm telling you guys, if you can get the word out about this thing, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen fast. So we're here to help you. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Whatever we can do to help you guys, feel free to let us know. And Arnie, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Only one last question. Of course, a lot of the people here are impact focused, but then somebody decides to become an IBO. In fact, I have a new partner on that just signed up, and now it's important that they understand that they need to get qualified just as quickly as possible so they're eligible to make these customer bonuses and so forth. And so that may mean stretching a little bit beyond thinking just impact. Now, you can do it, but it takes a little time. It's a little longer process. Of course, you could build with only impact. But how are you traditionally, if you're taking this new person, and how are you getting them qualified?
Great question. So you want to figure out the easiest services to get them qualified. You want to make it as painless as possible. So depending upon the market they're in, so if we offer energy in 19 states, so if they are in an energy market, that's an easy service to sign someone up for. So again, electricity is 2 points, gas is 1 point. We automatically try to get people on ID Seal. Ideally, if you can do the annual plan is 8 customer points. So if you can do 2 energy and an ID sale service annual, you got them qualified. If they're in a non-energy market, I mean, they can't market gas and electricity, you can do an annual ID seal and a quarterly ID seal. Well, actually, no, that used to be 4 points. You can do 2 annual ID seals and they're customer qualified right away. All right. The bottom line is you want to get them profitable as soon as possible. Even if it means stretching a little bit, you just want to get them the money in their pocket so everybody gets paid, and then you can move on because health sharing takes a little bit of time. Let me take you through the process. So, of course, you have to be accredited, right? And then you have to communicate with a potential customer. All right. They put their information in, and then Impact Health Sharing will contact them within 72 hours of when the lead is sent in. All right. Now, once they contact them, and here's the deal, they have to contact them. I was just on a call today, a leadership call, where they were saying that 86% of the people were contacted, but 14% of the people did not answer the call. So you have to account for some of your customers not being available, but you got to let them know that they're going to get a phone call. All right. So they get a phone call from Impact. And then they go through all the pricing and everything. And then if they agree to it, then they send them a form to sign up online. And then they have to sign up, and then they approve it. And so it takes a little bit of time for the impact sharing points to show up. The process a little bit longer. Look, we're all in it for long-term residual income. We're talking about getting someone qualified right away to get a check right away, okay? So you still want to go through the impact health sharing thing, but as far as getting them their check right away, you want to focus on the easiest services. Now, the ideal wireless customer is someone who's not under contract, someone who is on a month-to-month, they don't owe any money on their phones, and they're on an unlocked phone, and they're paying too much, you can flip them over, no problem. All right, so you want to make it as easy and simple as possible for the new person. The minute it feels too difficult, it feels too hard, and they're new, they're going to kind of shy away. That's been my experience. So you want to focus on the services that are the easiest to sign up for.
Well, again, Oren, I'm really excited by what you have to share with us. A lot of my partners are here from Europe, and we know when we get somebody qualified, quite a bit of money gets paid out. What happens here is, am I adding it up right? Is there $575 paid out every time a new IBO is qualified?
Somewhere in that name, some crazy.
Because it's like a 50 open line ETL, 100 for our regional coordinator, 100 for regional director. First generation's 100.
Yeah.
Does that also mean 100 for RVP and 50 for first gen RVP? Are those two right too?
Yeah, that number sounds right. You don't
If
quote me on that.
Up, that's 500 plus the 75 up front.
Yeah,
that's 575.
Yeah, they're paying out a lot of money, guys. I tell you, but my answer to the most important thing I would say to you is for especially the people you have in the U.S., get them plugged into training. That is the most important thing. Look, even if sometimes you're going to get people in and they're going to push back, they're going to be hesitant, they may not want to spend money on the services. If you can just make sure you funnel them into the training, they will see the value of doing it. So don't get frustrated with someone that says, "Oh, I just spend money to get in." Don't worry. Just say, "Hey, look, get to the training," and that's for somebody who's not as 100% open and doing all the services right away. Once you get them plugged in, I'm telling you, they will see it, and they'll be coachable, and they'll do what you need them to do, and they'll stay plugged in with what it is that we're doing. The training is the key.
So again, this Saturday morning, it's actually a perfect time for the Europeans. They're 5 and 6 hours ahead of us. So that's afternoon for you guys. You can get some people on that training. So like anything, if you're going to be sponsoring anybody anywhere in the world, it's about good follow-up. The fortune is always in the follow-up. You can put people in and just hope they make it, hope they're self-motivated, but we know the realities. And those that are paid attention to, taken care of, they're followed up with, you help them through their questions, you talk to their people, you get them to schedule that PBZ, as we call it now, private business Zoom, so they get as many guests in front of it. That's great. Again, I'll be back from my trip, and I'll be launching a schedule in Oren. I'll be happy to participate now that I'm full in on the U.S. now. So, let me get on the schedule with you to support, and we'll work these trainings together if that works for you too.
Got it, my friend. Take care. Nice meeting everybody.
Thank you, Oren.
Take care, buddy.
Thank everyone. Thank Oren. Thanks, guys. All right, listen. All right, well, listen, guys, this has been a lot longer than I wanted to go today, but I knew it would be long because I haven't been able to do a real training for people since we've been getting so many people interested in impact. Again, I'd go back to day one you started ACN. Put your contact list together. I went to people, I said, who do you know? We were opening the UK. I said, who do you know in the UK? They go, why do you need to know somebody in the UK? So the company I represent's expanding there, and it led to a conversation where I could have actually ended up sponsoring someone here in the US or get a customer. I said, okay, we're opening the Netherlands. Who do you know in the Netherlands? People said, why do you need to know that? I know somebody, and next thing you know, I had a lead. And so it's really about that referral process, and just be willing to ask. Part of your you could go back to people that's already heard you in an ACN and say, look, I just got to ask you a question. I'm looking for people with connections into the US. I'm looking for people that happen to know contacts. Why? Because there's an incredible business, and everybody wants to know about something when it starts. This just went live. The first ever customers just get put in today, June 1st. This is going to be a rocket ship, guys. I'm back from Europe on the 21st. And on I think the Thursday, the 24th, will be my first live online impact. But all of you have a chance to get a guest on tomorrow night. It's not a convenient time for you right now, but I will be in. Sorry, I got Mr. Mike Koupas now calling me. I will have to tell him I call him back. Anyway, guys, have a great evening. I'll get the recording of this. I'll put it in that WhatsApp group. And if you've got people that want to recruit and build in the U.S., I know John, probably McDougall, will do me a favor and look at this and edit into a couple of different pieces so that you don't have to do it all in one shot, as it's an hour plus, hour and 30 minutes. So we'll get him to break it up and repost it. But I'll put it out there raw for you just as soon as I get the recording, okay? All right, guys, listen, hopefully you got value out of this. You saw value. And for those that are in Europe and the countries I'm going to, I can't wait to see you face-to-face, break bread, share a drink. I got a big event in London, one in Santander next weekend. Next weekend is Saturday in Naples, Italy, and then Sunday in London. And then the following weekend, I'm with Mike Kupis in Santander, Spain, along with Mike Mazer, who's a guest speaker coming in from the U.S. So with that, guys, thanks again for being on. Have a great evening, everyone. Let's make an impact for everyone. Save them money, make yourselves some money. All the best, guys. God bless. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.